Vintage Arsenal, man. International break comes, but we've won again. 69 points with 10 games left. This is absolutely perfect. Exactly what the doctor ordered for Arsenal, man. Bouncing back from disappointment in midweek is one of those things, man. You never do want to lose that sort of game, especially to a team like you never want to lose those type of games, especially to a team like Sporting Lisbon, who, let's be honest, you're expected to be favourites. But if you can bounce back, that's exactly what you need to do. And today, Arsenal did exactly that, man. Crystal Palace managerless. They sacked Vieira midweek. A lot of people coming out and saying that was a wrong decision, myself included in that. And we proved that right today, because Palace showed absolutely nothing. They've had a poor run of fixtures, even like it's tough games as well, but they're getting points. Like even against teams like, for example, Liverpool, they got a point. Against Man City, they were unlucky not to get anything. And today, again, they didn't really do much, but they got to find a way to bounce back. This is more about Arsenal now, though. We had to find a way to win this game. I said after losing to Sporting Lisbon, thankfully, we've got Crystal Palace, which is arguably one of the easiest games in the Premier League right now. They haven't really been scoring much. Yo, RD12, what you saying, my guy, man? Big win. We needed that, especially after midweek. We need to bounce back, and we did exactly that. Because a lot of teams, it's happened to Arsenal as well this season already. We lose a game, whether it's the FA Cup to Man City, for example, and then we follow up with a bit of like a blip. Today, we just need to nip that in the bud and win straight away. And now we've got an international break. And for me, the international break has come at the right time for us. A really good time. Get some bodies back. Let the team regroup, and we come back with a new focus, which is purely on the Premier League. Because now we can alter our game plan. Because over the international break, it gives you actually some time to analyze. Because when the games come thick and fast, you haven't really got time to sit back and kind of think about what the bigger picture is and what's going on. You're kind of just taking every game as it comes and going in the moment with the flow. But when it's international break now, we can sit back and start to come up with a game plan. And our game plan will only include the Premier League. Will only include our 10 remaining fixtures. Our plan is streamlined. We've got one objective now, and that is to win the Premier League at all costs. May not be easy, but any team can do it, man. I mean, we're looking at Man City right now. They're not playing amazing football. I expect them to hit form at some point. But, of course, right now, we're in the flow of the moment as well. Like, we're playing some really good football. I've seen players here today, man, like Bukayo Saka, scoring brilliant goals, man. Brilliant goals. And there's a lot of things that I'm seeing this Arsenal team bit by bit improve on. Partey holding Martinelli, the back foot that finished the game. Yes, good point. And I really like that fact as well, man. The fact we were able to alternate and rotate the team towards the end. We don't have any more injuries. Saliba and Tomiyasu out is big. We've already got quite a thin squad as it is. Seeing Partey holding Martinelli, giving Arteta the license to do that, because don't make no mistake about it. If this game was 2-2 or 3-2 or there was only one goal in it, there's no way Arteta would have risked this. But it's nice that we're able to wrap up games early to rotate the squad a little bit and give some players some more breathing space. And also, not just that, giving some of these players their debut, giving them a chance on the pitch, because you never know when you might need them. And you don't want to thrust them into the team last minute because someone's injured and that be their first game back. You want to make sure they have a run in the side before that, so they don't just go into the game just like that. And it's like, oh my God, we're worried about them. They haven't played football in about 4 or 5 months. So it was good to be able to bring that team in. Bring some of the players off early, like Gabriel, for example, like Zinchenko, to rotate the squad and give some other boys some playing time, because you never know when you might call on them towards the end of the season. Glad Martinelli got a goal, and it was a good goal as well. I was shouting at this team to shoot, man. I think the performance was really good. I mean, I titled it Vintage Arsenal. It was a really good performance, but I do have to say that first 20 minutes was annoying me. We weren't taking enough shots. Crystal Palace literally had an in-turning goal. This brother, man, he's like, I think he's played his second game. I think he started in midweek for them. He's not Gaeta. He's not an amazing keeper. He's a young boy. I'm not going to get on his back, but you got to take advantage. You got to shoot on sight. And when we started shooting, we started getting goals. And that's not a coincidence. Brilliant goal from Martinelli as well. On his left foot, banged it in. And against teams like Palace, it'll be the same against Leeds in a couple of weeks' time. The first goal is so important. You need to get that first goal in it, and then they will start to crumble a little bit, and you can go and push to get a few more goals. So I was really glad that we managed to get that first goal, to be honest. But also, another thing that really impressed me about this team was our link-up play in tight areas. I feel like in games I've watched Arsenal play recently, we get the ball out wide to Saka and Martinelli, and then Ben White comes and Odegaard comes, but our play isn't incisive enough. Today, in the wide areas, our play was really good. Link-up play, beautiful. And we scored 2 of our goals through there. Really nice interchanging passes, brilliant movement, timing on point to beat the offside trap. Brilliant passes today and interchanging moves. And we scored 4 brilliant footballing goals. There weren't any goals where it was scrappy, goals where it was like, oh my God, it came off someone's bum into the back of the net. All the goals today were brilliant football goals. We cut them open and played beautiful football. And that's what I like to see from the team, man. Just goes to show we are a brilliant football team. We're not fluking results. We're getting results in a consistent manner, and our football is accompanying that. Really nice goals today, man. I don't even know which one was my favorite. I really like the last one with Saka, just about that Tierney managed to get an assist, because I know it hasn't been the best time for Tierney recently. He hasn't played a lot of football, and it was nice to see him get an assist. Equally, the second goal is really good from Saka. Nice finish into the bottom corner. That was a really good goal, especially the link-up play, as I said. Odegaard, Ben White, Saka, they filmed a little trio on that corner there. Really nice interchanging passes, quick movement, and Crystal Palace could not live with us at times. They were getting a bit frustrated if Crystal Palace started kicking out at us at times, because they know they could not compete. They were running around in circles, chasing shadows when Odegaard gets on the football. We have White rested for the entire international break. That's another good point. White is not going with England, and that's really good, man. For me, I wouldn't want any Arsenal players to go on international duty. I know that's selfish, but genuinely, I don't want any Arsenal players to go on international duty. This club needs to stay in London colony, and we need to focus ourselves on this mission. Because I know it's been a brilliant 28 games, but make no mistake about it, these will be the hardest 10 games of our season coming up. It doesn't matter if you play Leeds at home or Liverpool away, it will be a tough 10 games, man. Very tough. We've got to be at it 100%, because any sort of slip up, we've got Man City chasing us and they will sniff blood. So we can't show any sign of weakness, and we need to follow it on after this international break. But at least we've got one goal now, one game plan. None of this Europa League Thursday, Sunday, purely one game a week, rest and recover. Rest, recover, football. Rest, recover, football. That is it. I thought Holding was the best out of the two. I big up Holding today, man. I'm not even gonna lie, big up Holding, because I was worried. Of course, the news broke yesterday about William Saliba potentially missing several weeks. I think that's slightly exaggerated. I think he'll miss 2 to 3 weeks. I'd hope he's back for the Liverpool game against Anfield in 3 weeks' time. But Holding came today, and fair play to me, played well. It could have been a tough game. He's got people like Odsonne-Edouard, Michael Olise, of course, Wilfried Zaha, but he played really well. Really good, man. Stood up to the task, stood up to the battle. Big up him. I'm not worried about Holding coming in for one game. Like, for me, that happens. You've got a squad for a reason. You can't have Saliba, Gabriel play every single minute, despite the fact that Gabriel seems to be doing that despite he got taken off today. My problem is when you're playing them 2, 3, 4, 5 games in a row. That's what cost us last season. Having Holding and Cedric in for one game last season didn't cost us. It's when we relied upon them for 5, 6, 7 games in a row, and then they started to show their real colours, and their consistency wasn't good enough, and they made mistakes in key areas and cost us that top 4 battle. So if Holding comes in for today and in 2 weeks' time against Leeds, I can hack that. But I can't see him on the pitch at Anfield against Liverpool, because he will get torn apart by Salah, by Gakpo, by Nunes, etc. I can't see him on the pitch then. I can rely on him for 2 games maximum, but we need Saliba back. And maybe, look, Saliba, he's obviously not going with the French international squad. He's got 2 weeks now to rest. I think this boy's going to be back at it, man. No one wants to be rested right now in this team. No one. When you're chasing the title, everyone wants to be fit. Everyone wants to be playing. No one wants to be sitting on the physio table. They want to be involved with the fun. It's contagious when you're on top of the Premier League. It's contagious when you're winning football matches. Everyone wants to be involved. It's not like we're Liverpool, for example, or Tottenham that are scraping results at times, and no one wants to be back playing football because they're thrust into limelight and they're getting all the fans on their back, all the media on their back. It's not like that here at Arsenal. All the players, they're enjoying playing for the football club, and we're getting the best out of them. And I'm liking how it's going. We're splitting our team across, and we're getting good output from all areas. Like, you look at Man City, for example, they've got an absolute monster up front in Erling Haaland. Fair play. The Donny is unbelievable. But he is their output. It's Erling Haaland FC right now. For us, we've got Bukayo Saka, 12 goals, 10 assists this season. The first player in the Premier League to get double digits goals and assists. That is output. Martinelli, 13 goals, I want to say, this season. Jesus came back in the side. Trossard, another assist today. He's contributing with goals. Odegaard contributing with goals. The whole team is flowing, and the whole team is giving output. And that's what you need, because you don't know who to target. When you defend against Man City, you know you lock up Haaland. It doesn't really work for a lot of teams because he's just that good, but that's your game plan. You got to lock up Haaland. For us, who do you defend against? If you defend against Saka, Martinelli's got extra time. You defend against Martinelli, Saka's got extra time. Equally Trossard. Odegaard's pulling the strings. Partey's in there making things happen. We've got Zinchenko joining the midfield as well. This brother's got like another body out on there. He's so good, man. So it's so good we're able to have output from all types of areas where we're spreading our output across the team, just like Man City were doing in seasons gone by before they got Haaland, and that's really an advantage to us. What Europa League hangover? Exactly my thoughts as well, man, because I can't lie to you lot. When we lost that Europa League game, the main worry for me was the fact that there could be a hangover, because it was the way it took 120 minutes out of us, went to penalties, to lose in that fashion. A game 3 days later, But like I said then, and I'll say again now, thank God we played Crystal Palace. Because if we had Liverpool away this weekend, it could be another story. Crystal Palace, thankfully, is one of the easiest games in the Premier League right now. They can't really score. I know they scored today, but they don't really score. They don't really defend well. Of course, they had their third choice keeper in net. It was honestly the perfect type of game for us to play, to be completely honest. And we took advantage and we got some goals. And I would have wanted a few more to dig more into that goal difference because we're still 2 goals behind Man City with a game extra played. But at the end of the day, the 3 points is what matters. And we got exactly that. Moving on, Ben White was a beast today. Yeah, to be fair, I thought a lot of the team played really well, man, Scott. I thought a lot of the team was really good. I thought Zinchenko was good in there. I thought Partey was pulling the strings. Xhaka had a really good game as well. So I thought a lot of the team was really good. Ben White especially was essential to that. And one point I really loved in the game was when, I think it was Ben White just took out Zaha. And then Xhaka came and gave him a big hug and got the fans involved. That was really good. Shows a real good togetherness with the football team. And I love seeing that from the football club. And Ben White, again, was immense. And he took him off towards the end and put Partey right back. I think that's just to conserve Ben White because we know Tomiyasu's injured now. We can't afford any more type of injuries. But he's got a nice rest now. As RD12 said earlier, he's not going with England to the international break. So he's able to stay in London Colney, regroup with the team. To be fair, not a lot of our players are going on international duty. Despite the fact we're top of the league, not a lot of our players get to go out, which is, to be fair, I prefer that. I'd rather they all sit in London Colney. But it's one of those things. We can now regroup as a team and refocus our ideas. And we've got 10 more finals to go. Yaya Sanogo was in attendance. Yeah, I saw that, man. Yaya Sanogo, of all people. Remember this guy? Terrible striker, man. Absolutely horrible. I can't believe I withstood watching him play up front for us. Saka surpassed Eden Hazard's best season. I mean, stats-wise, it may say one thing, but Eden Hazard was a completely different baller, man. Eden Hazard was creme de la creme. This Donny at Chelsea, unbelievable. But Saka, double-digit goals, double-digit assists. This kid's getting output, man. And in a dry right-wing market, because trust me when I say this, the right-wing market, it's not like it's full of talents. The left-wing market is much better than the right-wing market. At right wing, we've got one of the best in the world. In my opinion, Saka is the best right winger in world football. Feel free to disagree. Right now, form one thing. You can say whatever you want about it. If I'm building an 11 out of the teams that exist right now, out of the players that exist in world football, Saka is my right winger. He is. Plain and simple. You can say Messi this, Messi that. I get it. Messi. But I see Messi more as like a centre forward, false 9 type player. My right wing is Bukayo Saka. Unbelievable again today. 2 goals, output, getting goals, getting assists, focused. He's on a mission and he's not getting distracted, man. And I love that from him because there's so many young players, I feel like, in world football that have looked so good, but then they just let their head goes wrong. That fame gets their head, the wages gets their head a little bit, and they go a bit AWOL. Like Dele Alli's an example. But Bukayo Saka, he's got a good head on those shoulders, man. He's got the right people in his corner, especially after that penalty miss. He's bounced back and he's been even better. He's taken his game to that next level, and he's going to be a brilliant, brilliant footballer for years to come. And he's proving it right now. First player in the Premier League to get over 10 goals and 10 assists. Brilliant from him again today. Other standout performers, for me, Martin Odegaard again. How many times do I have to say on this channel? When Martin Odegaard picks up the football, good things happen. If you want to win a football game, you get your players like Martin Odegaard and Bukayo Saka on the ball. Every good thing goes through him. He pops up in all those areas, picking up the ball deep, picking up the ball long. He knows when to pass it, when to shoot. So good again today, Martin Odegaard, man. His link-up play, brilliant. In tight areas, nicking the ball off the defenders as well at times. Always sprinting. I say that about him as well. Always sprinting, man. Because sometimes I see these attacking players like Odegaard who are just creatively a genius, like Mesut Ozil we had, and they took a little bit of leeway defending-wise. They wouldn't really track down the opposition. They wouldn't press as much. But that's not in Martin Odegaard's playbook whatsoever. He's the first to press, the first to go forward, sets a brilliant example for the team, and he's a player that wants that Premier League. I can see it with my own 2 eyes. He wants to lift that title in May, being Arsenal's captain. That Xhaka Jesus link-up was back. Exactly, man. That's big as well, having Jesus back. I saw him. Jesus is such an IQ footballer. I don't think we respect that enough as a football club. I know Nketiah came in and did his job, and equally Trossard does his job as well. But Jesus, he's been under Pep Guardiola for 5 years or so. He knows how to play football. He knows how to run that false 9 position. He knows when to drop in, get others involved with the play. At the start of the season, we were getting a lot of results with Jesus, and we were playing free-flowing football. And we weren't winning games last second as much because Jesus was unlocking the defense. He knew when to drop in, knew when to link up with Xhaka, knew when to link up with Odegaard as well. Like Martinelli was getting the most out of him as well. Jesus is that type of player. And although he's on the bench again today, trust me, we will need him. Trust me. And it won't be long before he gets back in that starting 11. Trust me. I can see Jesus starting again, probably against Liverpool, I'd say, because he's that good. He's that good. Arguably our best player before he got injured. We need him back, and the fact we've got him back now is so important. William Sleep needs to come back as well. So can't have all this one player gets back from injury, another player out. It's not a substitution thing. It's not Jesus is back, oh, Saliba's out. No. We need our full squad ready. 10 games left. I don't care what you inject them with. I don't care what you strap them up with. I don't care if you employ a doctor for 5 million a week. We're keeping all these players fit. We've got a massive run in now. 10 games left. 10 finals. I want to lift this Premier League trophy in May. I want to be at a parade in North London with red everywhere. I want to stride down Islington Town Hall singing the Arsenal songs. I don't want to be in heartbreak, in tears on that final day against Wolves inside the Emirates thinking what could have been. So I need all these players ready. Woodrick. Whoa, this is a big question, Arsenal fans. We've got Trossard now. Would you rather Trossard or Mudryk? Because for me, I wanted Mudryk. I really did. Trossard is giving us output right now. Mudryk's ceiling is higher, and I do think this Chelsea situation isn't helping him, and he made the wrong decision to go to Chelsea. Whether that was in his hands or Shakhtar Donetsk's hands, there's a whole nother story. But I can't say I'm annoyed with the fact we got Trossard. This man is good, man. Trossard is a baller. He's got output. It's always, you always feel like if you get these players from like Brightons and Newcastles, the Evertons, etc., those like second tier clubs, you always think, oh, what are you going to get from them? But Trossard's turned out to be a player, and he's a player. Fair enough, man. He got his move to a bigger club from Brighton, and he took it with both hands, grasped it with both hands, and is going now, and is really enjoying himself in that striking position. So I think when he signed to Arsenal, he probably thought he'd be a player off the bench, like an impact sub. But he got his mojo, he got his chance up front, and he's really starting to embellish himself in that position and really get a run going forward. He's been really, really good. Holding actually had a good game. Exactly, he did. And big up him for that, because I was worried before the game started. Be honest, Arsenal fans, feel free to disagree in the live chat, but were you worried Holding started? Because I was. You're lying if you weren't, man. You see Zaha, you see Odsonne Edouard, you see Michael Olise. You're thinking, oh my days, Holding could get ripped to shreds here. But the brother held his own. Big up to him, man, because I didn't expect it. I really thought, that he was going to struggle. Not the fact that it's nothing against Holding necessarily. I think he's an all right footballer. He's a dropper from Saliba, don't get me wrong. But also the fact he hasn't had many minutes recently. Like, you can be the best player on planet Earth. If you haven't played a lot of football and you're being thrust into the limelight in a high-intensity Premier League game, you're going to struggle a little bit. But he dealt with it. He dealt with it to a T. He's a true professional. My only worry is I don't want him to play in multiple games. He can play today, and in 2 weeks' time, if Saliba's not fit, he can play against Leeds. But we need Saliba back. Because the problem with players like Holding is when you play them 5-6 games in a row, because they're not consistent enough. That's the thing. And you can say, oh, he's changed this, he's changed that. Look, a leopard doesn't change their spots. That is, Holding is what he is. He is what he is. He's a player that's going to be good for maybe one game, then bad for another. So we can't have him consistently in this team. I'm sorry, if I want to win a Premier League, you can't have Holding in that team. Equally, if you don't want to make top 4, he proved last season, you can't have him consistently in this team. So Saliba needs to be back as soon as possible. Trossard was the right move, but Mudryk will come good. This is the perfect. This is how I would sum it up perfectly. I do believe Mudryk will come good. I don't know whether he will come good necessarily at Chelsea potentially, because someone needs to click there. It's not quite right in that club. But I do honestly think if we sign Mudryk, he would be good as well. I don't know if he'd be as good as Trossard right now, but eventually Mudryk will be that top player. But I'm hearing reports, I'm hearing slight rumours that we will go for another winger in the summer, a top tier winger. I've got my eyes on a certain someone at AC Milan right now, Rafael. Want to come to the Premier League, buddy? He'll be a top player to bring to this club. Yeah, but he has a hairband now, lol. Yeah, he's gone to Turkey and got a new hairline and everything. He's going to be a new player. I wish it worked like that. But look, a true professional, man. A true professional. You need some players like that in your squad. He reminds me a bit of like James Milner a little bit at Liverpool. Just someone that they're not going to kick up a fuss if they're not on the pitch all the time. There's someone that's a nice player to have around the locker room and will come in and do a job every now and then. You just don't want him to be that starter. No one's getting Holding on the back of their Arsenal shirt. No one's thinking, oh, I can't wait to see Holding play today. But when he's in there, you like him. He's got a bit of banter about him. He's a nice guy. But I don't want him to play in that team consistently. Big up him today, though. When I get onto my player ratings later on in the stream, he will get a good rating because he did really well today, to be fair. Other players that did really well for me, Zinchenko. This guy. First of all, lovely to see Tierney as well get some time off the bench. I really missed him. And also, it was nice for him as well to get an assist because he really did miss it. But Zinchenko, this brother, how many times do I say it? It's like having 12 men on the pitch. His twin brother is kicking ball with him. Well, his twin brother's going to centre mid. One thing that really impressed me about Zinchenko today, he defended really well against Elise. Elise is a tricky customer. He's got that jinky little move going in. He can cut inside on his left foot, go down on his right foot as well. But Zinchenko did really well defensively. I thought he was brilliant at it, man. Going forward as well, obviously had an impact, slotting into that midfield position, really good player Zinchenko, and he's got the DNA, he's got the winning mentality to win a Premier League. I believe he's already won 4 Prems. It would be his 5th if he wins it with Arsenal. What a player. Martinelli, 4 games, 4 goals, player of the month. Big up Martinelli, because I can't lie, since the World Cup, he had a little dip. He did. He scored against West Ham, he scored against Brighton, but since then, he looked a bit off the boil. I think the fact that we was targeting a winger, it was Mudryk at the time, then signed Trossard. I think it knocked his confidence a bit. I think he felt like he was replaceable. But since he's seen Trossard play false 9 and noticed, oh, wait, I can get in the same team as well, he started to bring his confidence back, and he's starting to get back to the best of his form. Scored a brilliant goal today. And in games like this, I've said it before in other streams, when you play against teams that play a low block or teams that are defensive, games that are going to be quite frustrating, the first goal is worth 2 goals at times. That's what it's like. Because that first goal gets the ball rolling, gets us moving, gets Crystal Palace a bit worried that they have to try and go forward a bit more. And that's what set the pace. And Martinelli scored a brilliant first goal, man. Tough finish, but brilliant training style move. Right foot touch, left foot across goal. Brilliant, brilliant one. Bed for me, 5:20 a.m. New Zealand. Wow. And this is something about Arsenal fans all around the world. Big up Scott as well for tuning in at 5:20 a.m. Big win for the Arsenal. And look, we have to keep it going. Going international break now, but we have to keep going. Arteta, manager of the month. Ooh, potentially. I think it'd be his 3rd of the season. Definitely, I think. It's definitely for March. Because he hasn't lost a game. He's got to be manager of the month, right? We've done so well. And the bounce back ability is there. Because when we lost to Man City, be honest, Arsenal fans, let me know in the chat. When we lost that game to Man City off the back of drawing to Brentford, off the back of losing to Everton, did you think we were going to win the league? Did you honestly? Be honest. Because myself included, I'm going to be completely honest. I'm out. I'm going to say both my hands up. When we lost to Man City 3-1 at the Emirates, I thought it was going to be very, very hard. Very hard to make it back. But big up to us. We pulled it back. I like Jesus' comeback. He's the reason we will win this league very early. I mean, look, Jesus coming back just the right time. Unfortunately, Saliba came back the other way, man. I don't know why. We get Jesus back and then Saliba goes, all right, my time now to get injured. What's it with this rolling substitutions, man? One player injured, one man back fit. I don't get it. Why can't the whole squad be fit? Eric Ten Hag needs to close his mouth. He needs to stop talking about us. I've said it before, yeah. These managers, they love talking about Arsenal. Every single manager is typing up about Arsenal, whether it's Guardiola, whether it's now Eric Ten Hag, whether it's Jurgen Klopp. Why are they all speaking about Arsenal, man? Let us do our thing. Arteta isn't out here saying, oh, Liverpool are doing this that they shouldn't do. Oh, United are getting lucky with this. He doesn't speak about any other club. He goes, I focus on Arsenal. All these managers, they love talking about Arsenal, man. Leave us alone, jinxing us with all these injuries and stuff. I don't want any of it, man. The Arsenal train keeps moving forward. Jesus is back. He's the reason we'll win this league very early. I'm be real with you, Paul, yeah? I do think Arsenal win this league, but I think it will go down to the wire. Man City will not get blown away with this league. They will keep at it. And Erling Haaland's hitting even more form. Back-to-back hat-tricks now. They've got a little break. We need Liverpool to do us a favour at the Etihad. I doubt they'll get anything because it's away from home, but maybe at least just a draw I'd take. And we need to win that game at Anfield for me. Anfield can make or break you. It definitely can. I need us to win at Anfield. It's what the doctor ordered. Every season we go to Anfield, we crumble. Normally it's at the start of the season, like the 3rd, 4th, 5th game of the season, we go and we crumble at Anfield. Anfield is the litmus test. If you go to Anfield and you win that game, you deserve to win a title. And I honestly believe if we do win at Anfield after the Leeds game, with 8 games left of the season, we will win the league because that will give us all the confidence in the world to go through. Even if we lose at the Etihad, if we win at Anfield, we will win this league. I promise you that. I'm 100% convinced of that. That's what I'm looking forward to, man. I need Saliba back for that game. I need the full strength team. And let's go. Let's attack these last 10 games of the season, man. And let's bring a title to North London. Luca in the chat. Hi, how are you? Yes, Luca, my guy. Happy with the win. I'm sure you are. Odegaard, Saka were class. I agree. Unbelievable. Odegaard, Saka pulling the strings. They're our 2 maestros. There's no surprise that when Arsenal win matches, it's because Odegaard and Saka are involved. Those 2 are so good, man. When you want to win football games, any manager will say it, you need your ball players on the football. For example, Pep Guardiola, when he was at Barcelona, he said, guys, we want to win the match, give Messi the football. Give that kid the football and let him cook. For us, Arteta's saying, hey, look, we're in a tough game. We want to win this match. We want to unlock a door. Give Martin Odegaard the football and let that boy do his thing. He's perfect at that. That's his job in this team. Give him the football and let him cook. Give it to Saka. Give it to Martinelli. Give it to Trossard. Let them boys do dangerous things, man. Come on, you Gunners. Indeed, Luca. Come on, you Gunners. Odegaard, spider emoji. Is that spider emoji? This Donny's everywhere, man. This Donny is everywhere, Martin Odegaard. I love him to bits, man. Honestly, next season, he might be on my shirt. This season had Martinelli. This one from season before that is Saka on the back. Next season is either Zinchenko or Odegaard. Those two have been unbelievable, man. Luca backing up saying Odegaard's so good. Exactly. He's everywhere and anywhere. He's the first to press. And also another thing he does, I think Arteta has told his team to do this potentially. Have you noticed whenever the ball goes out of play after we've pressed someone, the players go like this to lift the crowd and it has a response. It's such a simple action. It's so simple. Just doing this. Ben White did it as well with Xhaka when he slide tackled Zaha. It's very simple to do, but the effect it has on the crowd, on the atmosphere is amazing, man. It's so, so big. Big up the 112 people supporting this channel. I'm live to 112 people. After this, check out Lucas' stream as well. Check it out his channel after this. 10 to go. Exactly, Yamiko. 10 finals to go. We're out of the Europa League, but these are our finals. These are our big games, man. We have to win these games. Because at the end of the day, would you rather have beat Sporting Lisbon on Thursday but lost this game, or lost to Sporting Lisbon and won this game? My answer is the latter. I'd rather win this game. This is the Premier League. This is our finals. We haven't got the squad. We've shown already. We played a midweek. We started Saliba. We started Tomiyasu, and it went a bit wrong. But this season, we need the big boys in there, man. We need to win all our games. The gun emojis, we were firing. 4 gun emojis for the 4 goals we scored today. Brilliant. We must win against Liverpool. I agree. In terms of points, not necessarily. We don't. It's not a must win. We can draw that game. But I think in terms of mentality and psychologically, if we do win that game against Liverpool, it's a massive stepping stone forward. Because Anfield's always been a fortress. It doesn't matter where Liverpool are on the table. Anfield will always be such a tough game, man. Big up Saka. We are good. Saka again, man. Saka again. I love this kid. I absolutely love him to bits, man. Unbelievable player. Saka has to be in a bracket of world class. Imagine if he played for Man City and Foden played for Arsenal, then we would all know who everyone's picking. Exactly, RD12. I want to put this comment and pin it right on this channel because that's exactly what I've said for years, man. When both these players burst on the scene, I said, Phil Foden, great footballer. I agree. But he's got that Man City tax, man. He's playing that brilliant style. Saka was doing bits when we were finishing 8th every season. Now we're actually a good team. Saka's even taking his game to a next level. He's shown he is levels above. He's the best young English player by a mile, Bukayo Saka. He should have started that World Cup, and thank God he did. Saka, Kane, Rashford has to be that front three for England in the Euros, man. So good. We play Leeds at home first, 100%. It's Leeds before Anfield, before we go to play at Anfield. Every game is going to be tough, man. Every single game. We got to keep going. We got to treat every game like a cup final. We can't. Do you remember that season with Emery when he rested players and played Jenkins against Crystal Palace because he had a Europa League game, for example? I don't want none of this, man. The first team players, we've got 10 games left. They can rest in the summer. I want them to all play those 10 games. I'm a Crystal Palace fan, and you guys deserve to win the title. You guys are such talented players. We're getting relegated. I appreciate that Lukey. This game, I watched a lot of Crystal Palace this season. I do watch a lot of football, and I do think you were really harsh to sack Vieira. I know you hadn't had the shot on target, I think, for 3 games, but what I'm seeing Crystal Palace do is they're just a team of individuals at times. Like, they give Zaha the ball, they give Elise the ball, and they're expecting them to make magic. But that being said, the games you were losing, the games against Man City, for example, they were tight. You made a mistake for Elise. If you don't make that mistake, you get a brilliant point against the champions. Crystal Palace, I don't think they'll get relegated. I'm not sure, but I don't think they will because it's so tight down there. And you're giving yourself enough of a gap from the first games. And I believe you've actually got quite a favourable run in now. You've played Arsenal, played City, played Liverpool, played United, for example. You've got a bit of a nice run in, but you've got some relegation 6-pointers. So you have to win those games. What a win against Palace. Arsenal fans, exactly what a win against Palace, because this could have been a bananas peel game. I think everyone says about every game that Arsenal do. I feel like all the pundits say, oh, it could be a dangerous game for Arsenal, could be a tricky match. I think it's just one of the in things to say. Whenever Arsenal play a game, oh, it could be tricky. Every game's tricky in the Premier League. Every game is. No game's going to be easy. You just got to get the points. And that's how it is. Things fell in our favour. For example, they had their third choice keeper in there. Not Gaeta, because I know Gaeta's a top keeper. I've seen him play. He's been really good at times. That fell our way. Joachim Anderson, one of their best centre-backs. I think he's a bit too good for Crystal Palace. Got injured in the warm-up, so they had James Tompkins in there. Little things are going our way. So we've got to go bit by bit. But at the end of the day, we put them to the sword today. And that's all you can do. You can only beat what's in front of you, whether it's Palace or Man City. Each game is worth 3 points. And we beat Crystal Palace today in convincing fashion. 1-4-1. Would have liked a clean sheet. So I do think the goal we conceded was a poor, man. It was a little bit like, you don't need to concede goals like that. Ones where it's a corner. Did the same thing against Bournemouth. Same thing against Sporting Lisbon in the away leg. You can't concede goals that way, man, in corners. We need to tighten up defensively big time because you don't want to be known as a team that's soft, especially on set pieces. Because a lot of teams, they will come to the Emirates and their game plan will be to defend well and score on a set piece. That will be their game plan. And if you show vulnerability on set pieces, that doesn't bode well because teams will take advantage and it'll give them the psychological effect that they think they can score goals from corners. So we need to tighten that up. It never is easy against Palace, but today we did it. That is true. Going into this game, we hadn't won at home against Palace in the Premier League in 5 seasons, man. 5 seasons. Do you remember that game when Xhaka went like that to the crowd? That was in 2019, I believe. Of course, we had the last season when Lacazette scored last minute to get a point. We lost against them with Unai Emery, I remember. Palace is not an easy game. They're a bit of a bogey team for us, but we did a double over them this season. And I think it just goes to show that this is a different Arsenal team. Got a different mentality. We don't look at those things. Don't look at those Fugazi stats about these old teams we had when we were finishing 8th season in, season out. We're a new Arsenal team that's got a brand new belief. And I honestly believe if you play the right players and you play the full strength team, you don't rest players, you will get results, man. The games where we drop points is more often than not, it's the games where we rest players and we're missing key players. It's nothing about, oh, there's a little voodoo or etc. But if you play the right players, if you play the right system, if everyone's locked in and focused, we will get results. I 100% believe that. And that was the same again today. I'm going to give a big shout out to Granit Xhaka as well, because I've been a little bit critical of Granit Xhaka in recent weeks. I feel like he needs to step his game up. But today I thought he was really good, man. Really, really good. Scored a brilliant goal. Great at finding those half spaces in between the team. And have you noticed in attack, Arsenal play a 2-2-6? Has anyone noticed that? How Arsenal play a 2-2-6 in attack is when we start to pen teams in and they're locking up the box, they're parking the bus. Basically, I've got 9 players in the box. We play a 2-2-6 where we've got Holding and Gabriel on this occasion. It would be Saliba as defenders. We've then got Partey and I believe it's either Zinchenko. I think it's Zinchenko actually as those two, and the rest of the players are across a line across that team with Martinelli, Saka, Trossard. You've got Odegaard in there, and you've got Xhaka. We literally play a 2-2-6. We pen teams in. It's furious attacks, attack after attack. That's what we need to do because that's how you'll get results against these teams, man. We'll be vulnerable in a counter-attack, and I do think Palace had a chance when Zaha probably could have scored, coming off Ramsdale's back and almost went in. But overall, I think we defended really well, especially transitions, and we were really good at penning in Crystal Palace. Ben White played a great game for you guys today. I agree. I thought Ben White was really, really good. Deservedly came off as well, got some rest. Really good performance in there, especially dealing with Wilfried Zaha. Wilfried Zaha is a tricky customer. He's a tough player to defend against, but Ben White did his absolute best to lock him up. Really good from him there, man. And we've got no Tomiyasu now. I don't know when he's going to be back. Potentially might not be back for the rest of the season. Ben White needs to play week in, week out. We need him. We need him fit. We need him up and down the pitch. And he's initially an extra centre-back for us as well at times. Such a good player again today. Ben White has as many assists as Trent this season. Ooh, uncomfortable conversations, really. And Trent's meant to be an attacking fullback. I think it just goes to show that a lot of this Arsenal team have really upped their levels. Really have. And I think the thing that really irks me about these Arsenal players is they played really well, yeah, but the media doesn't give them the respect they deserve. They're like, oh, Ben White's on really good form. Okay, so he's been on good form for 8 months now. Like, if you say someone's been on really good form, you think like, oh, it's been like maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or a month. Like, these players have been in good form for 8 months. So is it right to say they're world class or really good players? I feel like these pundits, they refresh their opinions at the end of every season. Like Gary Neville, etc. He goes, oh, at the start of the season, I think Arsenal would struggle to get top 4. So throughout this whole season, I'm going to say they're a top 4 team. It makes no sense. Opinions change throughout the season, man. If I'm seeing Ben White put in world-class performances week in, week out, barring 1 or 2 games for the season for like 7-8 months now, I am right in saying he's a very good player. Very, very good, close to world class. How am I wrong in saying that? It's not like he's been good for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. He's been good week in, week out for much of the season, man. Much deserved. Ben White again played really well today. Arsenal is on fire. We deserve the title. That I can't disagree with. I think we deserve the title with the fact that first of all, no title is given. You have to earn it. But in terms of football style, we're playing brilliant football. We really are. The team's clicking on all cylinders, firing on all cylinders. We're looking good, man. The football we're playing is good. We're bringing a smile to people's faces. The emotional journey's got there with the fans. We know what we've been through. Finishing 8th twice, sticking by the manager. We deserve it. All our blood, sweat, and tears deserves winning the title. But nothing is given in life. We have to earn it. We can't just take it for granted. We have to keep fighting, man. The fans believe. The fans are doing their part. I mean, look at the Ashburton Army again today. On fire, man. Before the game started, during the game, the drums. Unbelievable. The fan base is with full support for this team. We're all united behind them. I reviewed Chelsea versus Everton yesterday on live stream, and I was saying Chelsea looked like a team that's not united between the fans and the players and the staff. Arsenal, on the other hand, we look united. We really do. From everywhere, from the fans all across the world to the staff to the players, everyone looks united. It's all one big happy family moving forward, man. And that is going to help us get over the line. Trent, best right back in the world, not. Yeah, I mean, look, to be fair, I think at a time he was really good, especially that season they won the league. But things change, man. I think he's been exposed a little bit defensively. Also, he kind of needs a refresh, man. It's one of those things. Like, you can't keep playing the same top level season in, season out. Very few players reach that feat. The Messis, Ronaldos of the world are the ones that are able to keep that top level performance season in, season out. Because it takes not only a lot of physical consistency, it's a lot of mental consistency as well. Be able to stay mentally strong and perform that way is so hard. The last time we beat Palace was 2018 and 4-1 was a score long. Goes to show it's been 5 years, man. Palace has been a bit of a bogey team for us. We did the result today. I think, to be fair, Palace have been struggling recently. I do wish them the best. I wouldn't want them to go down. They're not a club that I want to see go down, to be completely honest. But after they sacked Vieira, I didn't feel as bad. I can't lie. I didn't feel as bad about beating them. I wanted more goals. I don't think they'll get relegated. And it always is a tough game because they've got some decent players in there. Even though you guys lost to Everton or Man City or Man United, you guys have won 22 games and lost 3. Everyone keeps saying, what if they bought it? Arsenal's unstoppable. They are amazing. I really appreciate that, Lukey, especially coming from a fan in Crystal Palace, not even an Arsenal fan saying that. I mean, it's one of those things. I think a lot of people are expecting Arsenal to fall off because it's just what we've used to seeing in recent seasons. Last season, top 4, almost making it, and we bottle it. So I think people think the same way. The thing is, though, look, it's 5 points with 10 games left for us, 11 games left for Man City. Sorry, 8 points. But we've played one more game than Man City. Have you guys noticed? Yeah, like 5 points, it's not over. Last season, we were 4 points clear of Tottenham with 3 games left, and we bottled it. 5 points with 10 games left against a team like Man City, who are even better than us. Who are even better than Tottenham, not better than us. We're better than Man City right now. Come on. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. And we still got to go to their place. We still got to go to Anfield. Still got to go to St. James's Park, for example. Still got to play Chelsea at home. It's not going to be an easy end to the season. But we got to keep our wits about us. Got to keep moving forward. I genuinely believe City will drop points. They're not going to go the rest of the season unbeaten. I really can't see it. Arsenal win the Champions League next season. I hope so. But we seem to be cursed in Europe. I can't lie to you. We do seem to be cursed in Europe. I don't know what it is. We just can't seem to pull out results in Europe. But we have been resting our team in Europa League. We haven't played it well in Europa League all season, group stages and round knockouts. And I think it's because we haven't got the squad depth to play in both competitions, and we clearly prioritize the Premier League. You know if a team's got squad depth based on their cup performances. That's how you know if a team's got squad depth. Look at Man City. The reason they're able to stay in the FA Cup, in the Champions League, while fighting in the Premier League is because they've got good squad depth. Liverpool, on the other hand, I know last season they went far in the FA Cup and Champions League and Carabao Cup, but seasons before that, they never used to go far in cup competitions because they didn't have the squad that could stretch. How are Arsenal the best team in the Premier League, yet get knocked out of all cup competitions? Because our B team is not good enough. It's the most glaring thing. It's the most obvious thing to see. If your cup team is not performing, you know you've got a serious issue in squad depth. And that's highlighted. Hopefully in the Champions League next season, we will start to play our first team in those fixtures. But we're going to need to make some investments because we're light. Saliba got injured today. Holding came in. Fair enough, he did his job. But over a 38-game season, do you trust Rob Holding? Absolutely not. If Odegaard gets injured, do you trust Vieira for 5-10 games? Absolutely not. If Saka gets injured, do you trust Reece Nelson for 5-10 games? Absolutely not. We need signings in there. We need to improve this team by all accounts. And we need multiple world-class players. Whether Arteta can handle that many great players and balancing who plays when, who doesn't play, keeping those egos in line, making sure that it's all a big, happy family, that's where you earn your money as a manager. Because it's all good managing everyone right now when the players that are meant to be bench to bench, the players that are meant to be starting are starting. But when you got 14, 15, 16 players that all deserve to start, how do you keep everyone happy? That's where the top managers come into play, and that's where they get things going. Because even Pep Guardiola struggled with it. Cancelo got annoyed, kicked him out of the club. So it's not an easy thing. Arteta's got to show that side of his game. Because right now, thankfully for him, he's got a relatively healthy squad. There's a few injuries, but relatively healthy. And the players that are benched are not seen to be kicking up a fuss because they know they don't deserve to be in that starting 11. But what happens when he's got multiple players, like Rafael Leao sitting on the bench, for example? Say we sign him, Declan Rice sitting on the bench, for example. How does he cope with that? That's where you really get tested as a top manager. Holding proved me wrong, myself included. But we've seen Holding have these performances. Do you remember the FA Cup final in 2017, I believe, against Chelsea? Top that day, unbelievable. But that's Rob Holding in a nutshell. He'll play one game amazing, then he'll play another game and he'll do something stupid like get a red card, such as against Tottenham. Holding today, unbelievable, man. I give him his props. Well done, Rob Holding. But he's not consistent enough, and that's the reason why I can't have him in the team every game until the end of the season. We need Saliba back ASAP. Saliba can't just sit there and go, oh, my position's calm. Holding's in there. He'll do the job for me. No. We need Saliba back ASAP. So I still want that brother in because Saliba is yet to show me an inconsistency that Holding has showed me season in, season out. That being said, big up Rob Holding for today, but Leopards don't change their spots. It's the way it goes. We're 19 points ahead of the title contenders, Manchester United. Life comes at you fast. Manchester United, regarding them, man, I think next season there will be title contenders. I think this season they've done well and have stayed in all cup competition, so big up them for that. But we showed that next level to be able to win matches, I think. That's the difference between us and Man United. When the going gets tough, we're able to win matches. Because there's games here, right? Manchester United at home, for example. We won that game. We found a way to win it. Aston Villa away. We found a way to win that match the last second. Bournemouth at home. We found a way to win that match. Finding a way to win matches is a sign of a top team. It really is. Like I said last week's reaction against Fulham, we showed against Bournemouth and against Fulham in back-to-back weeks 2 performances that champions do. 2 exact performances. One performance that champions do is they dominate a game from start to finish, like against Fulham. The opposition barely touched the football. It's out of sight after 45 minutes. It's a champion's performance. Put them to the sword. Showed a proper golfing quality. Then the other performance that all champions show, they all do it, whether it was Man City, Liverpool, Man United, they all show this performance, is games when it's tough. You're under the cosh. The opposition are playing well, but you find a way to win that match. Whether it's the 97th minute, the 70th minute, 1-0 win, you find a way to win that football match. And we showed that against Brentford. And we showed, sorry, not Brentford, Bournemouth. And we showed that against Fulham. Exactly what we needed to do. And against Crystal Palace today, tough game given up what the 120 minutes we played the midweek. Tough game given we're missing Saliba, arguably one of our best players this season. But we found a way to win that match and won it in convincing fashion. I think it was a wrong decision sacking Vieira. I agree. But we scored 1 goal, so fans at least got to celebrate something. That's how it goes. I mean, we're Crystal Palace fans expecting to get a result at the Emirates here today. I know they've got decent form in recent weeks, but this wasn't going to be make or break their season. That's why it's a bit harsh sacking Vieira, especially because your run of fixtures now are actually quite nice, I'd say. They're going to be relegation 6-pointers, but you played City twice, you played Liverpool twice, you played United twice, you played Arsenal twice. You've got now a favourable run of fixtures against relegation 6-pointers, and you've got to win those games, man. And I think chopping and changing manager wasn't the right decision. Roy Hodgson seems to be in the hot seat to get this Palace job. I don't get it. It's like 1 step forward, 1 step back. He was there before Vieira even came in. But if you're bringing in Hodgson to stay afloat and survive this season, it is what it is. I guess you go again next season with a brand new manager, hopefully for you lot. But yeah, going back to Arsenal again. Oof. What is you lot's hopes of us winning the league? Like, what's your odds, chances? For me, I still say it's around 60% likely. 60% likely is decent. It's more than 0.5%. It's more than a half. But I'm still looking at Anfield away. I'm still looking at the Etihad because at the end of the day, if we lose at Anfield and lose at the Etihad and City win all their games, they will win the league. That's how it is because it's still only a 5-point gap, really, because City got a game in hand against West Ham. But those are 2 grounds we struggled at in recent weeks. Arguably the 2 hardest grounds to play football at is Anfield and the Etihad. The Anfield is a big, big place for me, man. A big place. I want to go and I want to get something there. I really do. I want to go to Anfield. I want to get a result, man. 100%. I don't want to go to Anfield and think, oh my God, it's happened again. We've bottled it. We've lost. The wheels come off the bus again. No. I want to go to Anfield. I want to get a positive result. Even if we get a point, I will be happy at Anfield. I know you're saying, how are you saying that Liverpool's so bad this season? I know, but Anfield's a strange place. We saw them demolish Manchester United, then lose to Bournemouth the week after. It's not a place you want to go whatsoever. It doesn't matter how bad Liverpool are. They will find a way to perform. So any positive result at Anfield to keep the ship moving in the positive direction is a good thing for us. 100% is a good thing. So we need to go and we need to hopefully get a positive result at Anfield. I'd love a win. If we get a win at Anfield and we beat Leeds the week before, I will come out here and I will say in that stream after the Liverpool game, I'll say we are winning the league 100%. Because I'll be that confident. But as it is right now, we need a positive result. Whether it's winning at Anfield, drawing there, who knows? Either way, we've got cup finals now. Well, I say cup finals, 10 Premier games. They are cup finals at the end of the day. We need to do as well as we can in all of those. And we've got to keep moving forward, man. Got to keep moving forward by all accounts. We can't rest on our laurels. We can't think, oh, we've dropped points in this. We've won here today. We can afford to drop points next week. It's nothing like that whatsoever. We have to win all these remaining games by all accounts. And we have to keep pushing forward because every single Arsenal fan wants to win this trophy. They want it. They don't want to sit here and go, oh, we finished second. This team deserves a trophy this season. They can't play the way they're playing and not get a trophy. They 100% deserve it, man. So big up to all the team for that. Let's move forward onto the player ratings now. In goal, Aaron Ramsdale. Couldn't really do much on the goal, to be honest. I made a good save against Zaha. So I'm going to give Aaron Ramsdale a 7 out of 10 overall. Going to go now. See you, lads. Take care, Lukey. Appreciate you popping into the stream. Best of luck to Chris Price. I think he will stay afloat this season, man. But yeah, best of luck to you. So yeah, Ramsdale, 7 out of 10. Right back, Ben White. Ooh, Ben White, I think, had a really good game, actually. Really, really good game. I'm going to give him a 8 out of 10. I thought Ben White was really, really good. In the defense, Rob Holding, also 8 out of 10. Really good game again today, man. Like I said, I was worried about him being in there, but he did his job. Big up to him. Gabriel, left centre-back, also played really, really well. I thought him again really marshaled Holding. Because a lot of the strikers, I know Ed Odsonne, Edouard, and Wilfried Zaha were targeting Holding. The right thing for them to do, by the way, because obviously Holding's the younger player, or not the younger player necessarily, but it's like the less experienced player, the less good player, let's be real. Gabriel's a much bigger unit, faster, stronger than Holding. But he did really well to marshal that. Did really well to get Holding through the game. Big up Gabriel as well. Zinchenko, left back. Also a brilliant game for him, man. Like I said, Zinchenko at times like having 11.5 men on the pitch. Really, really good in there. Also gave Tierney a running as well. Didn't have to play the whole game. Kivior identically came on for Gabriel as well. Really good in there, man. So yeah, Zinchenko also 8 out of 10. Whole back four played really well. Moving to midfield, Partey. Good game. Very, very good game. 8 out of 10 for Thomas Partey. Thought he played really, really well in there. Next to him, we've got Granit Xhaka. Also had a really good game as well. Got a goal. Influential throughout. I really love this performance here today, Granit Xhaka, man. 7 out of 10. Next door, Martin Odegaard. That is my guy. That is my guy, Martin Odegaard, man. He's the maestro. He's the one that will make things happen. Again, brilliant performance in there today. 8 out of 10 for Martin Odegaard. I'm giving a lot of 8s today because I think everyone played really well. Bukayo Saka, for me, man, the match, 9 out of 10. 2 brilliant, brilliant goals. Great link-up play down the right-hand side. Definitely something we've worked on as a team, being able to interchange with Ben White and, of course, Martin Odegaard to make things happen down there. Really good performance again by Bukayo Saka. Scored 2 goals. Brilliant young player. Already turned out to be one of the best right wingers in world football. Great again. Left wing Martinelli got us going with the goals. Brilliant one as well. Right foot touch, left foot finish across goal. 8 out of 10. And Trossard as well. An 8 out of 10 for his contribution. Didn't have his best game, but still got an assist. Still a little busybody around there, making things happen. The ball should have stuck to him a little bit more in the counter-attacks, to be completely honest. But overall, I think he had a really good game. That's all it is today. We're beating Crystal Palace 4-1 to keep going. We now go 8 points to the top of the table with Man City still to play. Make sure to check out my full match reaction after I drop in this channel. If you're new and you enjoyed this stream, make sure you subscribe down below. I love hearing your thoughts throughout it. I've been waiting for to see you all in my next video. Take care, guys.